And we're back. Hello, Tamers, and welcome back to the King's Court. I'm your host, Michael, the Machinedramon mechanic, which is what this series will be called. For reference, if you really want to make this ambiance better, in another tab, load up the Eggman song from Sonic, and it'll work just about well. So, if you've watched channel member Isaac's Agumon Expert, then as you know, at the time of our recording, our store championship is actually next week. So we're doing a bit of prep, trying to figure out what to play. Right now, I'm leaning towards, of course, Machinedramon. This is what I've been running a lot. But I will note, there are a few things first. Of course, the Crimsy, of course, the ever I've mentioned shilling. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Turn on the bell for notifications, and make sure you give our Instagram a like on the link. And the link will be down below in the description box. I am always having trouble with that right now. Anyway, question of the day is your guys' store championship happening yet? And if so, what are you guys going to play? And if you guys have any other tips for Machinedramon, leave it down below. Would love to hear your opinions and see what we can do. So let's first go ahead and deal with the fact that I will still be playing this black base of the 4 Doraemons. You can play Pokemon, but that's if you want to be a little more aggressive with your stuff instead of doing Machinedramon. I still like Doraemon. Doraemon is still going to be your primary play. It's still your best egg to go into. And honestly, I feel that's kind of the move right now is this. Now then, I don't know if you guys have been watching a lot of Ultimate Cups or a lot of the Ultimate Cups haven't happened yet. They actually might have, and of course there's been multiple regionals, multiple online events, and Machinedramons have been doing pretty well. So this is where we have to, sorry for dropping Analog Man a few cards, this is where we have to figure out what are we going to run for a few cards. So let's go and start with the easiest lineup to talk about, which is usually probably our smallest one, if not our equally smallest one, and that's our rookie lineup. And honestly, if you watched my deck profile before, there might have been a few changes, if not there are none. I believe there are a few changes since we made that. I believe I have made a few changes since then. Sorry guys, I'm not as organized as I should be. Basically pulled this deck out of my backpack because I've been working on other stuff. Trying to get a few videos ready to go and get back to recording a few of the videos we need to put up. Hopefully everything will be set to record soon, and everything will be set to put up. Such as our Pokemon videos. I have a Pokemon deck profile to give you guys soon. So if you guys are interested in Pokemon Tcg, we do have that content coming out. But yeah. Alrighty then, so let's go and talk about our rookies. Currently our rookie lineup is going to sit at 4 Doru, 2 Haguru, and 3 Chikuri. That is currently what we're running. And honestly, I feel like that's fine. This is your inheritable, this is your utility, and this is your floodgate to stop Crossheart and Digicross decks. Though I'm not sure how much we need this anymore. Or no, how much we need this. Bailstar has made an appearance on my locals. Not as much as it used to be. Blue Flare is back, and of course Crossheart and Hunters. This doesn't stop Hunters as much as you'd think it would, just because they can't Digivolve, so it really doesn't matter. But it stops Crossheart, but they're just going to drop Darulu, pop this, and if they have Zenjiro, it's pretty much going to be free for them. So, you can decide if you want to run this. I like it. I might switch. I might use Saturday. Saturday will be our day before the tournament, championships. So I'm pretty sure I have one day to test to see how this is going to do. I might test this out, but there's a few other rookies you could run. So if you don't want to run Chikurimon, there are other options you can run for rookies. There's what we used to run, and you could run. So if you don't want to run any of the, well, I would recommend I would say the ones you have to run, in my humble opinion, is the Dorumon and the Hagurumon, and if you want to put it at 3, you can, but this is what I recommend putting overall. If you don't want to play Chikurimon, what are your options? Well, you could always run 3 Jazzamon. This is for the 1000 inheritable during all turns as long as you have an on play. And since all your level 6s do have an on play, this should work out anyway. But if you want to run something a little bit different, but also kind of helping out, well, I don't want to say kind of. If you want to run something that's going to help you out utility-wise and be pretty effective. I've seen a few people run this. I know Ride My Avatar is very, very on this. Shout out to him, he's a goat. I don't know, so if you want, there is the option to also run 3 copies of Ludomon. You're never gonna play it. Honestly, all you do for it is you just Digivolve into it, and it just gives, while you have a Digimon that's red, or Legend Arms, which is gonna just be the red, against blocker. So you're gonna basically go into this if you're doing Chaosdramon. You're gonna go Machinedramon. It's not gonna have it, but it's gonna go for Chaosdramon. So yeah, if you don't want to run Chikurimon, you can run Ludomon instead. It should give you a pretty much very similar playstyle, but I honestly don't know. That's why Saturday I'm gonna test. If you guys are watching this before Saturday, let me know what you guys think. Because I want to do the best I can. Unfortunately, as many of you who've been playing in this format right now know, Shoutmon Cross 7 Superior Mode does hurt his deck a lot because it's just sources, then it bounces, which Chaosdramon can't get around. Unless, the action of being put back triggers Chaosdramon's inheritable effect first, but I don't think so. So, yeah, that's the only thing, like, you basically have to end Chaos Heart before they go into Shoutmon Cross 7 Superior Mode. Because if you don't, then they're gonna get you down that way, and you're gonna lose a lot of sources. But also, that's why I would say you don't want to build too tall to where you lose sources from Chaosdramon X. So that's currently our dilemma on our rookies. So, like I said, if you want to run these, this will give you blocker early, which means you don't have to play as many blocker inheritable level 5s, but I only play 2 different ones, so that's fine. And you want to play this, you're going to have more power. This should make your Chaosdramon 13k, X will be 14, and Machinedramon will be 12k before any of your other boosts, so this will be fine. But like I said, if you have any recommendations, let me know. I'll appreciate any hearing. And what you guys are, or if you guys are playing Machinedramon, what are you guys running? Again, leave it down below. Okay. Next is our champion lineup. And now champions for Machinedramon are going to be very interesting because of certain interactions you can fulfill. So, what is one champion you can play? Well, you're going to play certain champions anyway. So, let's go ahead and start with the one that you can run. There's Mercurymon, and there's Tankmon. So, Mercurymon is just going to give you a blocker, no matter what, and he's on play, so that's pretty good. Ironically enough, you can Digivolve this on top of, say, Dorumon or if you're playing Jazzamon. This means he'll have a 6k attacker, which is actually not bad. It's interesting. And Tankmon's a 1k one to Digivolve. Both are pretty good, but they both cost 6 to play. That can be a little tricky. But honestly, it's okay, I guess. But, of course, what do I think are the better champions? Well, I wouldn't say they're better. I would say they're probably you're going to play these more often than not. Champions. These are the champions that I recommend, and I believe I'm playing a 4-3 split of them. 4 of one and 3 of the other. You hear me shuffling because I want to make sure this deck is playable, because last time I did a profile of this deck and took the tourney, we almost lost because we bricked game 1. So, Numamon and Gardramon. So these are your choices for champions. And honestly, this is a hybrid, but if you're playing attack heavy multiple Digimon, you don't need to worry about hybrid as much. Gardramon is your big boy. He's good. It's good, gives you 2K, gives you draw 2, trash 1. You can deck out, but you still have to run it at 4 because it's such a good champion to run. So this is where I say the discussion is going to come down between these two. Tankmon or Numemon. Tankmon has the advantage of being a cyborg, which is pretty good. Honestly, that might be the one thing. Now, the reason I would say you might want to play Tankmon over Numemon, I'll give Numemon's advantages in a second, because I found them out when I played last Saturday and Monday. But Tankmon has disadvantage. You can trash it with Attack Him Mobile Digimon to give you level 60s. You cannot trash Numemon. But you can trash it with this. You can also trash it for Gardramon's Inheritable to discard draw 2. So it has a lot of synergy with a lot of cards in the deck. But, I'll say this right now, that 6 cost can kill you. If you're playing against, say, what do you call it? Anything that uses 3 cost tamers or anything like that, and they put you at 3, you can go into this and then say go into either, I don't know, Machinedramon to pop the tamer, so if they needed that tamer, it goes away. Or you can go into your Machinedramon, Andromon, Metamame to search. That all works out. It means you're going to go to your Mega faster, which is actually really good, which is why I like this, and I kind of would say you actually maybe want to play Numemon more often. And I would say Numemon is probably the more optimal option. I know that sounds weird, because I like Tankmon and I've run it for a while. But, yeah. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this Tankmon. But again, I feel Numemon's much better. There is another champion rookie lineup you can do. You can not play these for the Herald, but you can play these for a little option. You can instead play the EX3 Sealsdramon that gives Rush to any Commandramon you play as an Inheritable. And you can play the 2-drop Commandramon. Because if you have your Machinedramon set up, you can, with the Sealsdramon in there, you can drop it, drop the 2-drop Commandramon, and it can swing, which guarantees you an attack. So, honestly, that's an option. I'm not interested in running that option right now. It's there as a precaution, or not precaution, but as a option that I can recommend that because it sounds good. And I did test it one time, and it did come out pretty good. But for those of you who don't know, remember that's an inheritable on the Sealsdramon, not an effect that has while it's on the field. So keep that in mind. Don't try to cheat people out. We don't believe in cheating here. Because no, cheating is bad. Cheating is very bad. So, honestly, that's what I can say. Now, so let's go ahead and we're going to talk about our ultimate lineup just for a little bit. This will be one of the episodes of Machinedramon Mechanic where we're pretty much talking about everything and a little bit of nothing at the same time because we're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because we are getting ready for a Sparrow Championship. So, yeah. I'd also want to recommend that if your locals if you're going to play Machinedramon at your locals or a high event, just note you're going to need a few cards that are probably going to help with that meta. For example, Crossheart is making a return at my locals, so that's why I'm running Chikurimon. If people aren't going to come, like, I'm going to gauge interest. Like, for example, if I'm not going to have to worry about Crossheart that much, except for maybe one player, but I don't know if they're playing a Superiormon build or the Mervamon build, then honestly, Chikurimon's not the move. I would actually say if you don't have to worry about your locals as much, you can run the loot. Like I said, I'm going back and forth, but that's because we need to make sure. If your locals is not going to have a lot of play cost reduction, these are actually probably your better choices. Now, at my locals, we have a very good friend, channel friend Cbit, maybe channel member if he wants to be. He's a good guy. Probably one of the best players at the shop. Does really well. Done pretty good in Ultimate Cups and online events. So, hey, you're getting a shout out. So, if you see this video and you hear your shout out, hi. Anyway, Um, if you anyone who knows, he plays Dorbeckmon, which is a Digicross Rush deck. The problem is, while you would think Chikurimon would help against Dorbeckmon, it doesn't really. For the sheer factor that they play Fireball, Geo Greymon, Air of Dragons, anything that can get rid of it before you can play, even Gilmon X. So, like, playing Chikurimon really only gives rid of 3 memories to your opponent. And that's not what I'm really looking to do. I'm trying to get more effectiveness, so efficacy. So here's the thing, and that's why I'm saying this, if Digicross is going to be very popular at your meta, at your shop, play Chikurimon. If it's not, play for a more of a defensive build. Heck, you could even play 3 of these or 3 of these. I would still recommend playing the 4 Doremon. That's still a high recommendation. Or you can max out on 4 Hagurumon for the draw and just play 2 of these. Honestly, I don't know. Both are very good options, like I said. Mama Doremon, you don't play for the inheritable, so you trying to drop it's not going to be that great. But honestly, that's what all these rookies do. As far as floodgates go, if you really want to prepare for certain matchups, Chumon is still very good. Chikurimon, as I mentioned, and there is Kuguamon. It's a play cost 3 rookie black. I think it's from BT8. That your opponent can't reduce Digivolution cost. It is a machine and it is a cyborg. That is the big thing to note about it. And the reason it is good is because it basically tells your opponent they can't ignore Digivolution requirements. So, say against Beelzemon, if you put this out there and they don't have their line built properly, and they go to the Impmon that swing, you can Digivolve into Beelzemon. They can't do that, and they have to delete it. Now, granted, that's not that hard for Beelzemon, but it is an option. So, again, what is your meta? So, I guess I'll give a little hint to my meta. The meta at my shop is going to be, it's pretty diverse because while we're not a big shop, not everybody's always playing the same decks. What I can tell you is that there's at least one Machinedramon player, at least 1 to 2 different War Greymon players. There's Isaac, who plays Black War Greymon, and we have our buddy Ryleo, who does War Greymon X. Our friend Mario, who always will play he's playing Gallant currently, or he might be playing a new build of Bogramon, which is a Digicross deck, so in which case that might be a good idea to play Chikurimon. But since he's playing with the Hunter engine may not be. I don't know. Like I said, this is going to come down to a lot of ideas, which is fine. There is a Mastermon player, and for that, we'll get to that in a sec. There is Grandis. There is a Melga X player, but they don't always come. There are 2 different Crossheart players, but they don't always come, and I don't believe they're coming to our store championship because it's on a Tuesday, and it's usually supposed to be on a Monday. So, anyway. So, yeah. First big recommendation, your rookie lineup can be played for your meta, for your locals. That's a big thing. Your champion lineup, same thing. Ultimates is actually also in the same boat. And that's pretty good to know, because our ultimate lineups are pretty much our bread and butter. So I'm just going to grab my ultimates out of the deck, and then I'll shuffle them back in later, because we can talk about it. And trust me, there's a lot to discuss when it comes to your ultimates, your level 5s. Well, really not a lot, but enough that it's a discussion that's pretty interesting. You can decide if you want to cut more down, cut more up, play different ones, yada, yada, yada. All that good jazz. Jazz music. I don't get jazz. Actually, I do. I took class on that. So, anyway. So, I'm going to show off what our ultimates that I say are probably really, really important to the deck, and then which ones you can kind of discuss and talk around with. So, some of our important ones. I'm going to start with our EX1 boys. So these are EX1 cards. Metal Greymon is great just for giving piercing, but not as good. These 3 are what I call... Oh yes, I know 1 is the altar, 2 are not. I'm working on that. I'll get to that later. So these all have the same effect when digivolving. You look top 3, add a level 6, trash the rest. You do need this early game. being able to go into this off of, say... So I had a game where pretty much the idea was... So I went Digivolve for 1 into Numemon and raising, I think I had a Dorumon. So I'll just give the player the way I believe it was. We had... So we had this, we had this. We went Digivolve for 1. They passed us the turn. Oh no, I just hard played this, excuse me. I'm wrong. Hard played that. Then on our next turn, they gave us 3. We played this, and it was against Wargreymon X, so they weren't really seeing much either. So we did that. And went into that. That is a very good play, and honestly, it's what helps us. But what I'm really trying to get on is that these 3 here are all very good for what they do. Now, this gets reboot, blocker, and lets you pop a 5, drop or less. That's really good. You'd be actually surprised how often that comes up, being able to Digivolve, swing at something, pop the thing you were trying to get rid of. It gets rid of a lot of cards. Trust me, you kind of want it. Honestly, I say one of these is fine. If you want to bump any of them up more, I don't know which one. Maybe some of the more utility level 5s, which we'll get back to. Metal Greymon, only really good at 1. You don't need the piercing as often as you think you would, but it comes up when you need it. Alright. Now we're just going to do our other utility ones. This Digimon, it gives 2k during your opponent's turn only, so you're not as buff as you'd like to be. Same with the Metal Greymon that only gives 3k during your turn. If you were playing a lot more Tamers like Kazu's and all that, I could see you playing EX3 Cyberdramon, which gives you 1k whenever for long you have spending Tamer. But since Analog Man really only gets suspended during your opponent's turn, you really don't need it unless you're playing against Quartzmon, because then you're always gonna have suspended Tamer. But both of these are really good. I would say, unfortunately, they're only both good at 1-ofs, so that's why. That's pretty much it. Now, the rest of these are all good, and that's where we can make some discussions on how we do it. So first off, this is good as a blocker. Again, a 1-of, so I would say it's as good as a 1-of. This is also good as a 1-off. I should point this out, but I'll talk about it in a sec. So, these are your rest of your level 5s. These are what we can also discuss about and talk honestly what can be done. So, Gigadramon gives reboot and has jamming. So if you have this on top of a Gardramon with Dorumon, as long as you don't get hit by anything in options, this will give you pretty much immense advantage quick enough. And this giving you reboot means that you're probably not going to get swung over unless your opponent can attack active. Looking at this card here, this card does that. This card can also come in handy in just getting rid of certain cards and then popping a floodgate. I've used it for that purpose in general. Megadramon. This card is I would say, the questionable one. So the reason this is questionable is because this will let us attack. This is once we attack, we can pop either a 3-cost Tamer or a 3-cost Digimon. This can get rid of floodgates against you. This can get rid of anything that, like, rookies. This can get rid of a lot of things. So, pre-Taikikiri Hanene and pre-Cross 7, Superior Mode, you would always blow up Taiki with this. I now feel that you have to blow up Zenjiro. Because before Taikikiri Hanene, or let's call them the 3 Generals, before the 3 Generals Tamer, you always blew Taiki because that was the way to end her plays quickly. But now that the 3 Generals are a card, yeah, I'm just going to say so now, you have to actually play this little more smart. So because your generals are a card and you're going to get a lot of advantage, I would recommend you popping Zenjiro more often than trying to pop Taiki. Taiki's fine, but honestly, it is not the process. If you pop Zenjiro, they're not going to get as much memory, and they can't recycle Zenjiro. And trust me, after playing against Crossroad a few times, Zenjiro proves to be a big problem. Because being able to, if you have the floodgate out, your opponent goes, okay, I'm going to play a Darulumon to pop your floodgate, but since I have 3 Zenjiros out or I have 4, he's free. It's free. That's not right. Really annoying. And honestly, just blah. I would not recommend popping Taiki anymore with this. Zenjiro's the call. Swinging over your opponent's Digimon that you deal with Chaosdramon, too good, do it. This on-play Digivolution comes up very rarely. It does help, but you always inheritable because this means when you block, if you redirect, or if you attack over, do it. You need this for aggression and security checks. That's the only reason you play it, and that's why it's a one-of. If you want to play the Megadramon that gives it, only a Cyborg, that's fine. If you want to play the Volcanomon that if you have opponent has unsuspended Digimon, do it. But I don't recommend that one. There's also a Megadramon that gives, I think, all turns 2k. Or I think it's your turn 2k. Not as much I recommend that one, but again, these are all level 5s that are good. And your level 5 lineup can be very, very situational, but it can also be very, very tailored to your meta, like I said. Play to your meta. If your meta doesn't have a lot of tamers, like 2 costs or less, or 3 costs or less, you can cut this down, maybe play more of this, or even play 2 of this. If you're playing a lot of TG Cross decks, this will be your friend, but not all the time. So like I said, this is a very, very meta-defining, or not meta-defining, meta-determinant build. If you're going to run certain cards, you run them so that way you don't want to deal with cards. Or, yeah, cards that are going to give you a problem. For against Beelzemon, this helps get rid of Ai and Mako. Because it's 3 costs, that lets their combos go, and it's just a pain in the bahuki. Though, you can actually deal with Beelzemon pretty well as long as you get set up quick enough. If you don't get Chaosdramon or something on field quick enough when they want to go Beelzemon X, yeah. But that's neither here nor there. And like I said, this is where the deck is pretty strong. Because once you are set up, you're going to have a lot of interesting plays and trees to go down. Which is why I love this deck a lot. But you need to, like I said, you need to define what your meta is going to be. And if you're going to play Machinedramon, you're going to need to definitely determine how you want to play against it. If you're playing at a bigger event, I would say... So if you're gonna, no spot. Anyway, if you're playing at a bigger event, like say a big event or an Ultimate Cup or something like that, most likely don't plan to see Digicross decks. Mono Red Dorbic you can't really plan for, and I mean when I say don't plan for it, I mean there's no point to plan for it because your Chikurimon not going to survive anyway. And since and again, you only make a few changes to a deck like that if you're gonna be playing this in Ultimate Cup, which is a very good deck in Ultimate Cup. I do want to stress that. Sorry, talking a lot. Excuse me. But yeah, these are all our ultimates. If you want a better view, remember there are 2 Megadramon, 2 songs like that. These are all our ultimates. Like I said, these are our bread and butter plays. This is what we like. But again, you can adjust these for your meta, which I'm going to keep saying multiple times because that's the best way to handle anything. You want to talk something, plan for your meta. Honestly, like, we should probably just put that on top of the description box. Plan for your meta. If you don't really want to deal with certain decks, adjust your deck, but adjust enough that you believe that's your popular deck. Alright, now our level 6s. We're just going to discuss this a little bit, go through, and then like I said, we're just going to talk just a little bit more about removal and options, and then we'll probably get out of here, let you guys discuss while I try to figure out if we're going to be, how we're going to be doing this plays. So, these are our level 6s. I'm not going to bring all 4 of them out, as in all 4 sets, but I'm going to tell you right now the ratio. 3, 2, 3, 2. 8 level 6s. I know, that sounds extremely weird that you're basically running 8 level 6s and you're running 4 different level 6s. You don't want to ever Digivolve into Machinedramon X on top of your level 5. No. Not a good play. Really not. He has no on-play and he has no effect, so he will not be anything good until you Digivolve on top of him something. Machinedramon, you definitely want to play Digivolve or play. Same with Machinedramon, and even this can be really good. So, 3, 2, 3, 2. Good ratio. He used to be a 4 of, but honestly, now that it's more recommended this, honestly, yeah. And of course, your level 6s will always synergize with your tamer, who is of course going to be a singular tamer, but we have to play 4 of it. But I will bring up another argument. It's not really an argument, but it's a question that I might get, so I'm just going to discuss it now, and then we'll talk about it later. So, where are you at? Where are you? I just saw it. Oh, there you are. All 5 level 6s will work combo and work perfectly well with Analog Man. This Machinedramon will search it. If it gets deleted, you bot deck this, bring this out, and then you have these guys to work with as well. Honestly, these are all really good. This is the bread and butter of your deck. That was really nice. Anyway, this is what you want to. This is how you're gonna basically work the deck out. Honestly, I can't speak more enough about how good these cards are. This is really good. In fact, this has actually won me a lot of games because it would get deleted, or you would try to get deleted. Your opponent tries to left card of security. You just bring your rookie swing for game if they don't have anything to deal with it. It's so good. The fact that you can copy. Now, I could be wrong. Leave it down in the comment section below. But if you have the stack like this, and then you go like this, I believe you actually do get both of the Digivolution effects because they're both in there. I don't believe they don't miss timing. I believe you do get both. I could be wrong. I believe you do get both, though. I need to check the Judge Discord again. But, yeah. If you guys know, leave it down in the comment section. I believe most of the time I don't resolve both. I usually resolve one, depending if I need it. So, yeah, our level 6s have been pretty standard and pretty good. Honestly, they're standard and solid. Machine solid. Solid as steel. Now, our tamers, we talk about tamers. Now, what is our the other thing you can play is if you want to play Kazu for a little more drawing engine, but again, you don't really need it. It does give it a little more memory, and it does facilitate Cyberdramon, but again, you don't need it. There also is Rio from EX2, where when you play, you look top, add a Dramon. That's effective, but again, you don't need it, but you don't have to tap it to give 1k during either player's turn. To the end of your opponent's turn, give 1k to something. And our last option cards are going to be, we play multiple ones, and then we actually did change up the build a little bit to facilitate in something. So we'll talk about that right now. We'll see how it goes. So, who saw my last list knows we're playing 3 and 2. This is okay. I might cut this to 1 because I don't know. I like it, but I don't love it. You can play this for like another card, a Iron Fist if you're worried about options. You can even play this for Death X or Quartzmon if you want to do that. So 2 and 3, and then our final option card we are playing that I chose, and it worked out, was playing 2 Black Memory Boost. This has been clutch. It gets you a lot of early game. This gets you a lot of source of. It gives you advantage. Mid game, it can give you stuff that you might need if you don't have drawn to certain cards. And late game, if you have this set up already, popping this to extend plays is great. Everyone knows how good memory boosts are. They've been great for so long. But yeah. Honestly, that's why this deck is so good, because Black Mirror Boost is actually really, really good. It's one of the reasons why I think this deck is doing a little bit better for me right now, because I put this in and I didn't expect it to do as good as it did. But it did phenomenal. Won on Saturday and lost on Monday. I went 1-2 on Monday. It's going to be a little sport. I went 3-0 Saturday, 1-2 on Monday. And the reason I went 1-2 is time. Now, why do I say time? Because our shop uses the time rules, dice roll if you go past time. And first round, I went against Blue Flare. I would have won the game. I'm not even trying to be salty about it. But we went to dice roll, even though I'm pretty sure I would have won. Round 2, I went against Machinedramon, and we didn't even start game 3. Game 1 took like almost all of our time, and game 2 took the rest of it. We were not even able to start game 3. We just rolled 4 and I lost that way. And then round 3 was Wargrim on X, and that was a cakewalk. Sorry to Leo, but it was not a good game for you. The first game. The second game was really bad. First game I made the comeback, so yada yada yada. Anyway, so that's what I can say about this. The options are good. Again, we can always adjust. Again, I appreciate any feedback, any comments. Would love to hear what you guys think. If you guys are going to run Machinedramon for your Store Championships, are you playing it right now? Do you want to play it? Let me know. This is a prep episode of Machinedramon mechanic for our Store Championships. So that's why this video, which I would usually want to make a much more bigger discussion of how the deck plays, what to do, and all that. But since this is a prep video, I just wanted to get discussion ideas, tell you guys what I think, what's a good idea to run, what's necessary, yada yada yada. I know I'm saying yada 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 a lot, but that's because y'all know what I'm talking about. So, I'm ready for the Store Championship. If you guys have any recommendations or any comments at all, leave it down. Even leaving questions. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think. You know, are you also proud Machinedramon players? Do you also want to be proud Machinedramon mechanics? Well, cool. You know, leave a like, comment, of course. You know, subscribe, yada yada, all that good stuff. Make sure, and again, if you want to see it, you know, leave questions down below. I will be making more episodes of this. Because this is my favorite deck. Would you want me to do anything else? Like, since I play multiple decks, do you want to see one on Dark Knight? Do you want to see one on Machinedramon? Alphamon? That too. Alphamon will be getting an update in BT13, so I will wait on that one. I can even do one for Imperial, but I'm not as quick to do it on that one. I have a Grandest deck profile to do eventually. I can even build Hunters. I have Hunters built, so leave it down below what you want to see. You know, so down below what you want to see, any questions you want to put down, any opinions you have of Machinedramon, any ideas that you have that you think work, and all that stuff. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you guys think. Want to interact? So, you know, leave it down below. Let's keep this constructive, positive. Let's not be rude in the comment section. If you run something a certain way, if you run something else, don't, keep it positive. Keep it clean. You know, we're building a great community here of Kings. Let's keep it out here. Let's all be studs. Let's get this going. Everyone's a stud out there. Especially you. I'm going to guess there's a guy named Brent out here watching. I see you, Brent. Keep it up. Although I know there's a guy named Kyle out there too. It'll be okay. But yeah, so prep for our Store Championship is coming up. Thank you guys. Wish me luck. I'll let you know how we do. I'll do a report on how the Store Championship went. I know there's not a lot of Hive City Store Championships because there's no invite, but there are Sistermons to be prized. So we're going to win the white women, hopefully. Or I guess gold and white women, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah. This has been Michael of the King's Court. As always, thank you for watching. Check us out. Do everything we need to do. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.